Fundamentally, blockchains are a wonderful invention. It's, Satoshi Nakamoto, whoever he or she or they are, God bless them, because they really created something that they solved a problem that humanity has never been able to solve before. And that problem is it's a governance problem. It's how do we organize networks? And for those of you who have read *Sapiens*, great book by Harari, I highly recommend it. He has this thesis where basically everything is a story. Money is a story, corporations a story, the US government's a story. If we all stopped believing that story tomorrow, it would cease to exist. So humans are storytelling monkeys, and this idea that we can unite each other by telling each other stories makes us the most powerful creatures in the world, because we're the only animals that can unite across genetic boundaries. Bees and ants and so on can only can communicate within their genetic hive, but humans can connect across genetic boundaries. But humans, through stories, you can get 5,000 people together under this story that they're all Christian. And so then they all behave the same way, or the story that they're American, or they're capitalists, or communists, or what have you. So this storytelling power for humans is very powerful, and these stories allow us to create networks. So money is a network, United States is a network, Blockstack is a network, communities are networks. The problem with networks is, how do you run them? How do you organize humans? How do you decide who's in charge? And historically, the answers have not been very good. One answer has been that we get a king, an authority, the most brutal person, the one with the biggest stick, and they tell everybody what to do. Another is we have an aristocracy, an elite. It could be the American Medical Association, it could be the journalists, it could be the university system, it could be Congress, whatever. But the elites tell us how to run our lives. Another model is, well, it's a one person, one vote. It's a mob. It's the French Revolution. It's the commons. And that can work in some cases, but it does have the tragedy of the commons. They're always cheaters. They're free riders. You end up with the classic communist paradise, right? So the question is, how do you organize humans? How do you organize networks? How do you organize decision making? And what Satoshi Nakamoto figured out was how to do it in an open way, like a democracy would, but still merit-based, where it's still based on some actual contribution to the network. So for example, in the Bitcoin network, the miners contribute hash power. And so this is a fundamental breakthrough. What it does is it brings the power of marketplaces, which are open meritorious systems and are now the most powerful networks in the world, just as any US president has tried to go up against the credit markets, for example. The marketplaces are very, very powerful, and what Satoshi did was bring marketplaces into computer networks. And from computer networks, they'll go out into physical networks. So it's a fundamentally different and new way of organizing humans. And that is fundamental. I mean, it took all this development over the last 7,000 years of civilization to get to the point where we can create a new way of organizing humans. And I'm just really happy to be alive at a time when it's being built. And so this is fundamental. And if all it takes is a little bit of greed to get everybody on board, that's fine, let's do it. Let's pay that price. But I think money is bringing everybody in, but I think the thing that we're all creating is something far larger than ourselves, and far larger than money.